Hey everyone, welcome again to another Choices Finding Your Joy. Oh my gosh, I am so excited today. We are really going to be talking about joy. I have with us today Esateys. She is a relationship coach and mentor, a mindset engineer, board certified nurse practitioner, expert in the human condition, certified master facilitator, international speaker, author, and radio show host. Hi. Oh, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here, Esateys.
I am so excited to be here. I've been counting the moments where we were going to be able to connect and speak about joy, because what could be more awesome than that?
Yes. I know something that you have put out there to the world is out with the pain, in with the joy. And I just absolutely love that. I would love to begin with just maybe if you'd like to share a bit about yourself, your background, and what brought you to where you're at today.
Sure, I would love to. I'll give you the shortest Reader Digest version that I can. The short version is that uh, I was actually a very introverted, unhappy child, and I was in a lot of pain. And there were a lot of circumstances that had to do with that. But when I was 33 years old, I had a very serious car accident and what some people call a near-death experience, because what happened is I kind of left my body, and when I came back, everything was so completely different. I was able to see things and feel things and do things at such a different level than ever before, but it didn't mean that I was excluded from pain. And as I as I healed, I was in a wheelchair for a year. I was in a hospital bed upright for 3 months, and I had many severe injuries. And during that time, I had a really great opportunity to contemplate life and the pain that people go through, and what does it take to get to the joy? Because all of us really want to feel joy, but that seems to be so flittering and so difficult to actually get to. And so I became very deeply introspective, and I started working with people from that place. Now, prior to that, I had been working in medicine because I'm a board and nationally certified nurse practitioner. I have my own practice, I have my own patients, and and I became very burned out with that because I'm very empathic, very intuitive, and I was feeling everybody's everything. So it wasn't just my pain, I was feeling everybody's pain. And so after I decided to take a little respite from real estate, and I mean from medicine, and I went into real estate, and just to do something different and break the pattern for a little bit. I stayed licensed in medicine. It was during that time that I had my car accident. So after the car accident, I became very intrigued with the human condition, what I call the human condition, how
Mhm.
we think, how we work, why we do the things we do, what's beyond what it is that we know, and who are we really? What are we doing here? And what does all this mean? So I became, really intrigued with that. And I did a lot of study, and I had a lot of experiences that supported that. So what happened is, although I kept my license and I did go back to traditional medicine for a short period of time, I started doing intuitive counseling. I started doing alternative medicine. I studied with Deepak Chopra and did Ayurvedic medicine and deep meditations and things of that nature. And it just expanded me in such a way that life became a real adventure, because I started seeing that everything was joy, even though I wasn't perceiving it as joy. But when I really got deep into understanding that it really was the adventure of life that was joyful and not these incremental little things that were occurring, then things really shifted for me.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And really, that makes me think, that's a good point. Isn't joy really how we perceive things? Because there can be things in life that could bring us so much joy, but we may not give our attention to that.
That is so right on, Paula. I'm telling you that when I have down there that I'm a mindset engineer, what that means is that I help people really recognize what's in their headset, what's in their mindset, because what we think up here is going to determine whether we're happy, sad, mad, or glad. If we're in joy or if we're in suffering is totally related to how we're framing it and what that perspective is. It means, to put it in another way, is that we are going to have to raise our vibration, if you will. We're going to have to see things from a perspective that allows us to get more of a macro view, if you will, or a higher viewpoint about ourselves and life and all of the circumstances. When we do that, then we have the ability up here to see it from a completely different perspective. And when we do that, we start experiencing joy like we would never have been able to do that prior to. So the work that I do is working with people in reframing their mindset and their perspective, but I do that through helping them raise their vibration so they have a deeper connection into themselves, but also into life and to their bodies and to everyone and everything that's occurring here.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So if someone says to you, Esateys, what is joy? How will I know it when I have it? How do you describe that?
Joy, really, joy is, again, it's perceptual. It's how they say, what is the word, what is the saying they say is, uh, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Joy is really in the eye of the beholder. Now, that's what I will call the human part of us. But when we go into a deeper part, joy is all that is. Joy is everything that's happening in every single corner and molecule of the earth. All of life is joyful, but because we have different ways of framing it, then we have the ability to say, oh, that's joy, but that's not joy. And in reality, in the what I'll call the big picture, it's all joy. But if we speak to what it is that we live with on a day-to-day basis, and for the way most people think, it's about recognizing when we feel a certain level of peace, or we feel a certain level of ecstasy. You know, it's a really hard word to describe. Some people call it bliss, and some people call it ecstasy, and other people go, I got giggles, I got giggles, I don't know what to do with myself. And for them, that's joy. See, it really is relative to what it is that we are thinking, feeling, saying, doing, and how we're perceiving what's going on.
Yeah. Myself, I like to take a moment every day and just say to myself, I'm in this moment, I'm alive. This gives me joy. This gives me happiness. Just that I have this moment.
You know, there's something that I say every day that I encourage everyone to say, and that is, my worst day is someone else's wildest dream. My worst day is someone else's wildest dream. The truth is, if I'm ever not in joy, I've lost focus on what's really true. And even though I have days where I might not feel as great as other days, still, my worst day, if I look around, I am so blessed. I, I, I really can't even put in words the gratitude that I hold for my life and the different things that have happened to me, whether it be the car accident or having a heart surgery or having kidney problems when I was little, or all the different things that I've experienced. Nothing. It's nothing. And I really remind myself of that every day, and that brings me joy. It leads me right back to the center of what's so. I am a joyful being. My life is a joyful place to be. My experience of life is my choice. How do I choose to experience my life? And therefore, how can I not be in joy if I'm seeing my life in a way that allows me to perceive it as an amazing experience, one amazing experience after another?
Yes, yes. So what would you say to someone listening that says, oh, but I have these challenges in my life. I have these circumstances. How can I be joyous? Would it be, it's, you do have those challenges, but then it's also what you do have that you can perceive as joy. Don't neglect that and realize that. What would you say on that?
What I would say to that is, because we all do have situations, circumstances, and events in our lives that don't appear to be fun. They feel like pain, flat out pain. Sometimes it's deep suffering. We lose someone that we care so much about. That we feel that in here. And what I have found, what brings me back to my joy the most profoundly and the most quickly, is to feel the feelings that are there, not to avoid them, not to pretend that I'm in joy when I'm hurting, I'm crying, I feel like I'm suffering. So okay, then I be the best depressed I can be. I be the saddest that I possibly can be. I feel the grief and the heaviness and the emptiness inside my body. And I take a moment and I literally go into my body and I notice, where is that energy in my body? What does it feel like? What does it look like? And I become an observer. And once I observe it, just like sometimes I see it like as a black ball or a gray, whatever. And I literally, in my mind's eye, I move myself right into it. I walk into it and I feel what's there. And I even ask myself questions like, wow, is it soft? Is it hard? Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it malleable? And I become fascinated with this pain. And when I feel it like that, whew, it goes away. It does not stick. It's there for it's an energy, and it's there for the attention that it needs. It needs to be acknowledged because it's part of life. Life wants to be acknowledged and lived and embraced. So if I'm experiencing that, then I embrace it. I live it. I feel it all the way through. And in days that have been past years ago, I mean, I literally would get on the floor and just cry. Or if I was angry, I would take a pillow and I would smack the bed or something, and I would just get it out. And then, voila, I felt my joy again.
Yes.
I didn't resist it, is really what I'm saying.
Yeah. We acknowledge it and then we let it go.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And
Oh, this is so fantastic. Well, everyone, we are going to pop out for just a moment for a break, but we'll be right back. Don't go away. Thank you.